Check out the links in my description for more information, for more resources. Check out the podcast. Check out the Facebook groups. Just check out the links. There's a lot of great stuff there. Comment, rate, subscribe, share, like, dislike, whatever you want to do.
Dragon Ball Super Masterclass, 40k plus attack. It's new time. It's a time, we're having 20ks and 30ks. What's the thing? The hotness, as it were. The thing you definitely want to have. And decks want to incorporate as many 20ks and 30ks as possible. Now we're going to the next level. Next level is 40k plus. So we have the Ultimate Evil Majin Buu, which has the auto when this card evolves. When a card evolves into this card, switch this card to active mode, and it gains 30k power for the duration of the turn. It's already a 30k, which means it'll be a 60k. So it's definitely 40 plus. And then of course it has triple strike, so obviously this will be a finisher. It has the EX evolve. We pay 1 blue, place this card. Place 2 cards from your hand into the drop, then place this card on a Majin Buu with an energy cost of 5 or more. So it's obviously not too hard to cheat it out and to trigger its EX evolve. Obviously, a basic play you would do is you will, play a 5-drop, right? Majin Buu. Swing with it because you're going to take advantage of this card's auto, right? Swing with it. Then awaken your leader. Or if your leader Soul Striker, swing with the leader, tap it, and then tap 1 energy, and then evolve this on top of your Majin Buu, restand it, then you'll be a 60k triple strike ready to roll to finish your opponent off. Obviously, the only thing you have to contend with typically will be with blockers and negates and stuff like that, which you should already be able to have ways to deal with that stuff. The only thing that tends to be hard to deal with, less you can control is combo power, right? So having something really, really strong, so that way it forces your opponent to have to combo more to try to out-combo your attack. And the fact you're already starting off with a base power of 60k with this thing, so even if you play 1 or 2 super combos, this card's attack is going to be very, very high. Trying to take 4+ super combos for your opponent to try to out-combo this. As an example. Another card we can use for 40k plus. There's probably many other cards. These are just some that I've thought of and found, but there's plenty of more. And the idea is to always look for more. Definitely try to find stuff that has 40k plus power. Mostly every ultimate is 40k, so it just that since you can only have 1 copy of an ultimate per deck, makes it you don't have access to that 40k power as often as you like. But the idea is to find some stuff that can give you 40k whenever you need it or want it, and use them. We have all at all cost Vegeta, good old classic card here. Has a lot of abilities, but it has the active name. Once per turn, choose 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. This card gains 3k power for the duration of the turn for each energy you have. Then if you have 5 or more energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. This card gains triple strike for the duration of the turn. So if you have let's say how many do you need? See, so it's 3k, 3 times 5 is 15, so that's only 35. So to make them 30, you don't want them to be 38, so you want them to be, so it wouldn't be 5, it would be 6, right? That's 4,200, so it's 42k, something like that. So essentially 42k, a little over 4,000 if you have at least 6 energy, which wouldn't be that hard to ramp up to if you have certain cards A cute play is playing the 6-drop with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Warrior or something like that, right? Play that one. That's the one that you can ramp, right? Ramp up 4 energy. Use the 4 energy to play him. So now you have 10, right? So that's an extra. So 10 times 3k. 10 times 3 is 30, so it's 30k. So it's 30k power boost on top of his 20k, so it'd be 50k. So a 50k triple strike is obviously a really good card to swing with. And of course, you're getting 2 cards from the active main. When you play this card, draw a card, then choose up to one of your energy and switch it to active mode. So you at least have 1 energy up, which can help you, throw an extra 10k to his power, by comboing a 10k from your hand. On top of using any super combos if that's what you're doing. So obviously, more energy you have, at least if you get to turn 6, being able to play this on turn 6, and it'd be a 42k, plus you have 3 energy untapped in that situation, plus you have you have 3 extra cards in your hands. Using this as a finisher would be that hard, right? Then you have MicroRecords Absorb. Obviously, it's not too hard to get this to 40k plus. That is the whole idea. I mean, on average, base power it'll be 50k because you need a minimum of 4 cards in order to overwhelm. And once you warp them, you'll gain an instant 20k boost. So you'll already be 50k. So that alone already puts you 40k plus. But of course, the obvious idea is to try to go beyond that. You want to warp 10 to 20 cards to get them really, really, really high. So his attack is almost infinite. Then we have Goku and Goten's familiar bonds. Pretty much anything that has the alliance mechanic can obviously go 40k plus. So this obviously can do that. And this also gets triple strikes. So seeing a lot of triple strikes with these powerful cards, which is good. You don't want them to be strong but only do 1 damage, right? It's always good that it could do more damage. Granted, this one it's really strong. It doesn't do double strike, or triple, but you could always give it double strike, right? If this is Death Embrace or any effect similar to this, it has the ability to drastically drain the power of your opponent's leader, for the duration of the turn, or at least for the duration of the battle. Pretty much gives you the same type of results of 40k plus. The main idea is to have something strong, something with really high base power, so that way when you swing your opponent's leader, which by default would be a 15k at most, unless we get 20k leaders right on the races at, but 20k most, 15k at the most, getting your attacks really, really high, it's going to drastically increase the chances of the attack going through, because more likely your opponent's not going to try to out-combo the attack, because it'd be too much for them to either out-combo, or they can out-combo, but then they'll be vulnerable to any other attack, so they're better off just taking the hit, which is ultimately what you want. The purpose of having anything strong and swinging with something strong is that you want to increase the chances of the attack going through. Obviously, if they have a negate, they have a negate. If they have a blocker, they have a blocker. Right? If they take the hit, which is an option, they could always just take the hit if they want to, right? Which is something you want as a player, right? You want your opponent to take a hit. But they always typically had the option to out-combo if your power is low. But, mid to late game, you typically want high attacks because you want them to take every hit. They have to negate, they have to block in order not to take a hit. You don't want them to be in a position where they could out-combo. So that's why we try to go with some really big, strong attackers. So using something even like Freeze's Death's Embrace to drastically reduce your opponent's power. Because just even this, you could play this for 1 energy, right? Swing at your opponent's leader, pay like 4 energy, right? So that's minus 40k right there off your opponent's leader. this attack would definitely hit in that regards. So something that simple. Then we have Chosen Galactic Marauder. It's a lot like the At All Costs Vegeta. It gets really strong. I just paying 3. Because the funny thing is, you pay 1 to play it, then pay 3 to trigger its effect of active battle. So it's essentially a total cost of 4. Just so it can get its, to get its power. But to get to like 40 plus, you're going to have like 10 or more energy. Because you get 6k power for your energies. So, let's see. Is that right? I think 10. Well, 10 would be just 60k. Okay, so because 6k, so 6 times 10, 60, so 60k, yeah, 60k power. So just 10 is enough. So that's 60k. So what's this? So let's see. 5 times 6 is 35. So that's 39. So yeah, so it was 6. So that's what it was back in the day. Yes, a minimum of 6 energy. You can make them 40. Forgetting the math. Quick math here. 6k times 6. It's 36,000. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, 36,000 plus this 4k made him 40k. That was the idea. Now I remember. So I was like, I know there was something about 6 energy. So for minimum 6 energy, you can make him 40k. So that was the idea. So that's one way of getting really strong. Like I said, just 6 energies, but you're only using 4 out of the 6 energy to make him that strong. So you still have 2 energy left over for defense, like Oceanus, that kind of stuff. It's always good to save on energy. Then we have Gotenks Surging Strike. In order to get Gotenks to, you only need 4 energy to get him up to 45k. Because 2 to play him for his overall, so 2 black energy to play him for his overall. Then he has the active battle ability. We pay 1 black energy to give him 10k power and double strike. So, and that's not once per turn effect, so you can pay black energy more than once. So paying 2 black energy for an active battle, give him an extra 20k, and he'll be double strike. So he'll be 45k a double strike on that first swing. He's dual attack, so he'll take advantage of that, right? He'll restand and you just swing again and do 2 more energies again. So a total of 6 energy, right? For that turn, and he'll be 45k double strike on the second swing. Obviously, a really good card, especially in Hatch. The fact that I can, for 6 energy, I can make him 45k double strike. He can attack twice, so he's kind of like Self-Zeno of the deck. Working on the Hatch build. It's blue Hatch, upgrading the blue Hatch. So, got that. But then I have, of course, another Hatch build that uses the other card. It uses Gotenks. It's mono black, right? So saying, yeah, obviously you can, make him strong. So you can make him stronger. The more energy you have, the stronger he becomes. We got the Mirror Dimension Superpower. Dimensional Superpower. Obviously it's the unison version of MicroRecords, essentially. You get 5k power for each of your card in the warp during the battle. This card attacks. This has a -2 active battle abilities. You want to pay 3 to play, right? Swing with it, then do the -2 ability, right? Active battle. And I'll have 1 marker left, and then I'll get 5k for every card in order for it to be a 40k, you'll need 5 cards in the warp in order for him to gain 25k power to his 15k, making him a 40k. So minimum 5 cards in the warp just to get him to 40k power. Obviously, the more the merrier. Want that attack to go higher. In order for Broly, Super Saiyan for Broly's Prismatic Burst to be 40k, you'll need 6 energy because you're trying to give him 6 markers. That way he'll get an extra 30k boost. He gets 5k for each marker, so if you have 6 markers, that's an extra 30k on top of his 10k, so you get 40k swinging. And there's some decks that can easily ramp up to 6 energy that you can take advantage of, like Super Saiyan 3, Goku, things of that nature. Take advantage of that. And the fact that Super Saiyan 3 Goku lets you tap 3 energy at the end of your turn on your awakened side definitely makes it a good card to use, because you can keep you have the energy to defend and keep yourself in the game long enough to swing with a 40k each and every turn as long as you keep your defenses up. So this is definitely a card I recommend for any deck that likes to ramp and keep the energy up. But this in Super Saiyan 3, definitely a powerhouse. And then we have Majin Buu Supreme Evil, which also has an active battle ability where you pay 3. This card gains 10k power and triple strike for the turn. Obviously, the idea is to pay 6 because the active battle is not once per turn. Pay 6, and then he'll get 20k and triple strike. So it'll be a 40k triple strike swing at your opponent's leader. Good card. It's a lot like the Gotenks Surging Strike, but I'd rather play the Surging Strike. Because you still gotta get this on board, which is already a 6-drop, and then to play his ability, it's gonna cost a lot. This one is just much easier to use, but you get the idea. So here's some 40k plus cards you can play. There's more like the unisons out there that have there's definitely one unison I can think of right off the bat that could easily make itself 40k plus. I think that's its effect. It starts off 25k. It's the Gohanks, right? Has the -5 ability, I think, and it can make itself into 40k, and then it gets triple strike and think dual. If right, it already has dual attack, so does all that perfect dirt. Because you get the idea. 40k is the new 20, as they say. So go look for some 40ks and put them in your deck.